Hey guys, greetings from the Forgotten Coast of Florida. I wanted to just briefly take a few minutes and go over a question that I've been getting a lot recently, which is, how did I get started shooting with the BBC? How did I start getting work from the BBC? So my documentary filmmaking journey actually began 14 years ago, and as I looked back over those 14 years, I couldn't help but think to myself, damn, I probably could have done this in a shorter amount of time. If I had just stepped on the gas and focused on a very few number of vital things along the way and forgotten about everything else, I think I could have done it a lot quicker than 14 years. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today, and that's the framework that I want to share with you, the Freelancer's formula. I think these are the vital steps that if I could go back and do it all over again and tell my young self, hey, just focus on these things, it's going to pay off faster. That's not to say that it's going to be any easier or that it's not going to take sweat equity, but at least I could eliminate some of the many distractions that we have facing us trying to get a foothold in this career. So in college, for all 4 years of college, I worked as a media production assistant in a studio on campus. The significance of that opportunity was that I now had access to the tools. I had access to equipment. But the real importance here was that I gained access to the process. So after I graduated, I continued working full-time as a production manager. And I did that for an additional 4 years after I graduated. And towards the end of that, I was actually brought on to manage the production of a docu-series. This was a very high volume series. We had to do 90 short documentaries every year and did that for 2 years, almost to the point of burnout, but I was also experimenting with style. I remember there was a period of time where I was trying to watch 10 documentaries in a week, and I really did notice a difference when I was watching good content, jot down a couple of notes or insights that I had on a couple of them, and then I could actually go to work the next day and apply some of that. So I gained access to the process right in college after I graduated. Now I'm actually trying to make the process my own, and I'm trying to put my own style on things, all the while meeting more filmmakers, meeting more producers and directors, and trying to build my network. And it was at that time that I was approached by an organization who wanted to commission me to film a documentary in Kenya called A Voice for Peace. And literally everything changed from there. That project challenged me in ways that I had never been challenged before as a filmmaker. I refer to that project actually as my Catapult project because for whatever reason, after I finished that film, everyone's attitudes towards my work and my career changed. People started taking me seriously as a filmmaker. There was something about filming a documentary in Africa that led me to having quite a bit of credibility. And it was at that point that I began to market myself as a documentary cinematographer. I wasn't waiting for anyone's permission. I didn't need a certification. I had 4 to 5 portfolio pieces on the website that I was proud of, including this Catapult project that I did in Kenya. I made a list of 30 to 40 production companies, directors, producers that I wanted to work with, and I blitzed the list, cold called, emailed, asked for introductions, and over the next 4 years leading up to today, I've gone to Kenya now 3 times for 3 different projects. I've shot in 4 continents now, and it's taken me 14 years to get here. And as I was prepping for this video, I realized that it could be done in about half the time. So as a freelance documentary filmmaker or freelance filmmaker, freelancer in general, small business owner, it's so easy to get distracted and focus on things that aren't going to really yield any results. And I still struggle with this today, trying to identify and focus solely on the next right thing to do. So the framework is simple, and that's the point of it. 1, create exceptional work. And by this, I mean projects like your Catapult project, the types of projects that are going to elevate your work, your career, your name, your brand to the next level. Exceed the expectations of your client and crew, meet deadlines, be a pleasure to work with, and put in the time, 3, 4, 5 years that it takes to build your network. What I love about this framework is that it's so simple, it's obvious that these are the things that we should be working on. When we hear it, we're like, yeah, no duh, But for some reason, or at least I still get distracted sometimes. I get pulled away to things that are not going to drive my results. If I can just whittle away all the fat, trim the fat, and just focus on these 5 things every single time, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It was only after I had built a body of documentary and branded content did I have a strong enough pitch to grab the attention of the producers at BBC Storyworks. And once I got that first opportunity back in 2020 to work on that series, I rinsed and repeated. I delivered exceptional work on time. I exceeded expectations in any way that I possibly could. And I did it with a positive attitude. That was 2 years ago now. That was in 2020. And ever since then, our name has been consistently tossed around internally at the BBC. And we've been introduced to 5 or 6 other producers who have brought us onto projects. So whenever things get a little fuzzy for you, or if you're having a hard time determining what the next right thing to focus on is, don't get lost. Just remember the formula. Gut check yourself on the current task that you're working on. Does it fall within one of these 5 things? If not, forget about it. Everything else is a distraction. If you do these 5 things, I guarantee you will get work. Right, so that's it, guys. I have to go get prepped for the shoot tomorrow. But don't forget to comment in the section below if you want me to expand on any of these topics. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Would love to see the support and the love. Somewhere floating around me is a link to our most recent video. Go check it out if you haven't. And reach out to me if you have any particular questions or if there's a certain type of content that you'd like to see in the behind the scenes work that's coming up. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.